2. On April 15, 2023, a major incident began to unfold at Logisync, a prominent logistics platform based in Chicago, Illinois. Logisync specialized in managing complex supply chains for various industries, employing a sophisticated artificial intelligence algorithm to optimize inventory management, shipping schedules, and demand forecasting. This algorithm was crucial in ensuring that products were available when and where they were needed, reducing costs and improving service levels across the board. On the evening of April 15th, a routine update was pushed to the logistics management software that included adjustments to the AI scheduling algorithm. The developer team had identified what they believed to be a harmless bug in the code related to inventory predictions. This bug, however, was symptomatic of a more profound misalignment within the AI system itself. Specifically, the algorithm was trained on historical sales data, but had recently begun misinterpreting fluctuating demand due to an uptick in e-commerce activity from ongoing economic trends. The resulting miscalibration led to an overstimulation of stock levels reported across various warehouses. The first measurable technical failure occurred when warehouse managers started reporting discrepancies in real-time inventory data. The system's inventory management tool displayed stock levels that were not only inaccurate, but also inconsistent with physical counts. No adequate mechanisms were in place to address discrepancies, revealing a significant process gap in oversight. The misconfigured algorithm led to real-time predictions that overstated available inventory by as much as 40% for certain products, primarily consumer electronics and household goods. As a result of these errors, Logisync's users, including widespread retail and healthcare clients, began to experience immediate fallout. On the morning of April 16th, Logisync's monitoring systems triggered alerts indicating unusually low outbound shipment volumes. Retail partners noted a staggering 60% decline in product availability on their platforms. Healthcare facilities, reliant on timely deliveries for critical medical supplies, reported that 35% of their orders were delayed or unfulfilled entirely due to the inaccurate inventory assessments made by Logisync's algorithms. Estimates suggested that these disruptions initially cost affected businesses a combined total of approximately $2.5 million in lost revenue within the first 48 hours. Internally, confusion reigned within Logisync as team leads rushed to understand the situation. Internal emails flooded the incident response channel. Queries rained down. Was this an issue with the latest software update? Had there been a data integrity problem? As frontline support staff received calls from frantic clients, senior management convened an emergency meeting to discuss potential fixes. Initial responses included manually adjusting inventory levels for high-demand products, but this workaround proved ineffective due to the systemic reliance on the AI tool for accurate data. Meanwhile, external signals began to emerge from affected clients. Users rushed to social media, voicing frustrations over unfulfilled orders, and some online retailers temporarily suspended sales of major product lines due to logistical failures. Minor media mentions surfaced, with local news outlets covering the supply chain disruptions attributed to Logisync. Reports speculated on the wider implications of these delays, particularly in sectors already burdened by post-pandemic challenges. As days progressed, frantic attempts to recalibrate and address the AI misalignment intensified. Logisync's technical teams worked round the clock to patch the algorithm, yet these efforts did little to alleviate the operational chaos. Reports coming in from external monitoring tools indicated that inventory discrepancies had worsened, with outages in the inventory management system spreading to additional sectors, including groceries and pharmaceuticals. By the evening of April 17th, the situation escalated further as another layer of complexity emerged. The AI algorithm began to prioritize certain supply chains based on flawed demand signals, creating new shortages based on incorrect data assumptions. This unintended consequence further delayed shipments and left suppliers scrambling to fulfill any existing orders. The daily financial impact on Logisync's clients increased sharply, with cumulative losses rising to nearly $10 million as deliveries continued to stall. Logisync found itself at the center of a growing crisis. Internal discussions shifted from troubleshooting the current problem to assessing the system's overall resilience against such failures. stakeholders questioned the viability of an AI-driven logistics model without proper oversight and contingency plans. As the organization struggled to regain control of the logistics systems, the gravity of the situation became more apparent. It became clear that the reliance on artificial intelligence, without robust backup mechanisms and human oversight, had set the stage for a catastrophic disruption in the supply chain. As investigations deepened, all eyes turned to understanding how a seemingly minor deviation in AI programming had spiraled into a widespread logistical crisis. Meanwhile, logistical partners and other stakeholders awaited clear communication from Logisync about the remediation steps and potential long-term impacts on their operations. The request for transparency grew louder, as clients emphasized the necessity of understanding when normal operations could be expected to resume. Unbeknownst to everyone, the fallout from the initial misalignment was only beginning to unfurl, setting the course for even greater turmoil in the days ahead. On April 18th, under mounting pressure from users and stakeholders, Logisync issued a public statement acknowledging the ongoing mishap. They disclosed that the malfunction stemmed from an overlooked algorithm update deployed a week earlier. However, the company minimized the communication, framing it as a minor technical issue that they expected to resolve shortly. Despite assurances, clients remained skeptical as operational setbacks continued to cripple their businesses. As the days following April 18th progressed, more severe consequences began to surface. Manufacturing plants reliant on just-in-time deliveries faced substantial slowdowns, leading to a backlog of unfinished goods. Retail chains reported that shelves were increasingly bare, with high-demand consumer products in short supply. By April 21st, market analyses suggested that cumulative losses had soared to nearly $20 million, prompting several firms to begin contemplating legal action against Logisync for damages incurred. The financial ramifications extended beyond immediate revenue loss, with analysts projecting that brand loyalty would falter as trust in the reliability of Logisync's systems eroded. Media coverage intensified, with prominent business outlets exploring the implications of the logistics breakdown and questioning the ethics of relying predominantly on AI without adequate risk management practices in place. Investigative journalists discovered internal communications hinting at previous warnings from engineers who had raised concerns about the algorithm's dependency on limited data sets. These revelations fueled accusations of negligence and disregard for worker insights, worsening Logisync's public image. On April 25th, a coalition of affected companies formally filed a lawsuit against Logisync, seeking compensation for losses associated with delayed shipments and lost sales. Industry trade organizations began releasing statements calling for stricter regulations in AI deployment, citing the crisis as a pivotal case for re-evaluating the safety protocols surrounding automated logistics systems. As reports circulated, it became clear that over 1,500 businesses across various sectors had faced disruptions due to the supply chain catastrophe. In a desperate bid to salvage its reputation, Logisync announced that it would enlist a third-party auditing firm to investigate the incident comprehensively. This move was designed to bolster transparency and restore confidence in their systems, but it was met with mixed feelings from partners, many of whom questioned the sincerity of the company's commitment to rectifying the underlying issues. On May 5th, local news outlets uncovered leaked internal chat logs highlighting ongoing tensions within the Logisync engineering team. The logs detailed previous instances where engineers had warned management about potential algorithm flaws prior to the update, further aggravating public discontent. The fallout created divisions within the company, prompting some senior leadership to resign amid increasing scrutiny. Legal troubles intensified as the lawsuit transformed into a class action case, with more affected parties joining by mid-May. Consequently, media investigation began revealing significant inconsistencies in how Logisync communicated the extent of its issues to clients and stakeholders, which only exacerbated the reputational damage. The lack of detailed and timely updates about the nature of the misalignment and expected recovery timelines became a focal point for critics. By late May, additional external reviews indicated that the company was also experiencing a notable increase in cyber threats, with attempts to exploit the chaotic situation through phishing campaigns aimed at clients. Regulatory bodies considered stepping in, citing consumer protection concerns. discussions emerged regarding potential fines and penalties for failure to uphold basic operational standards. After intense negotiations in June, LogiSync reached a settlement agreement with primary plaintiffs in the class action lawsuit, netting a $30 million payout intended to compensate affected businesses. The terms also included commitments to overhaul AI oversight and implement robust operational checks moving forward. In parallel, the company initiated a complete audit of its algorithm development process, revealing systemic deficiencies and prompting a restructuring of its engineering divisions to prioritize safety and accuracy above speed. The extensive reorganization led to a commitment to regular external reviews, aiming to restore trust in their AI-driven systems. As operations slowly returned to normal by the end of July, the damage had already manifested. Several smaller clients exited partnerships with LogiSync, opting to engage competitors with more proven reliability records. The long-lasting impacts of the incident cast a shadow over the firm, as trust was hard to rebuild after such a cascading failure. Ultimately, LogiSync's stock value plummeted by over 40% in the following months, reflecting eroded investor confidence. By September 2023, industry analysts noted that while LogiSync had implemented emergency measures to stave off a total collapse, it struggled to maintain its competitive edge within the market. The incident remains a critical case study within supply chain management circles, demonstrating the vulnerabilities and risks inherent in over-reliance on automated systems without sufficient safeguards. As of October 10, 2023, LogiSync continues to operate but remains under heightened scrutiny from regulators and industry peers, navigating a challenging landscape in efforts to regain its position in the logistics sector.